that he carries to the set, too.
I don't run much of a democracy. It's,
Yeah, is that right?
The words are the words.
He wasn't kidding.
Here we go again. Yellowstone fans can't even finish chewing one spinoff before Taylor Sheridan slams another plate of cowboy casserole in front of us. And this time, the mystery spinoff that's supposedly not Rio Palo. Yeah, because keeping secrets from the audience always works out so well. We've got rumors, leaks, whispers, and more smoke and mirrors than a Vegas magic act. Sheridan's treating the Yellowstone universe like it's monopoly money, buying up every square inch of storytelling real estate and then pretending it's all part of some master plan. Spoiler, it looks less like a master plan and more like a frantic game of ranch-themed whack-a-mole. Why fans thought it was Rio Paulo in the first place? Oh, fans didn't just think it was Rio Palo. They practically carved it into stone tablets and held a midnight ritual around the rumor. And honestly, who can blame them? When you see Taylor Sheridan's circus pack up its tents and roll into Texas, what else are you supposed to assume? The man owns half the state, for crying out loud, and every other spin-off he's teased seems to involve cowboys, oil rigs, or ranches that conveniently happen to look like, well, Texas. The breadcrumbs were laid out perfectly. Whispers on fan forums, leaked casting calls with suspiciously Western-sounding names, and that one Instagram post from a totally random extra who accidentally tagged Rio Palo in their caption before deleting it like they just leaked nuclear codes. Fans connected the dots faster than CSI, except apparently the studio swooped in screaming, "Wrong show, move along." But here's the kicker. Fans weren't crazy. The studio can gaslight all they want, but the reason people thought it was Rio Palo is because everything lined up. The timeline matched. The secrecy matched. Sheridan's obsession with keeping his projects hidden until the last second matched. And what's worse, this wouldn't even be the first time Sheridan let fans chase a rumor he never corrected. Remember when people thought 4-6 was dead in the water until suddenly it wasn't? Yeah, it's almost like Sheridan enjoys watching fans spiral while he sits in his ranch office, sipping bourbon and muttering, "Dance, puppets, dance." And let's just be real for a second. If it wasn't Rio Paulo, then what exactly was happening down there in Texas? A bake sale? A Yellowstone fan film? No, of course people assumed it was Sheridan's shiny new spinoff, because what else could it possibly be? You can't drop a production into Sheridan's backyard and expect fans not to sniff out a connection. It's like spotting smoke and being told, "Don't worry, that's not fire, it's just really committed fog." Fans smelled Rio Paulo because all the clues pointed right at it. The fact that the studio scrambled to deny it so fast almost makes it look even more suspicious. The studio's shady shutdown. The studio didn't just shut down the Rio Palo rumors, they stomped on them like a cowboy crushing out his cigarette on a barn floor, and they did it fast. Which is hilarious because since when has Taylor Sheridan's camp cared about clearing up fan confusion? Usually, they let rumors run wild like untamed mustangs because, let's face it, free buzz is free buzz. But this time, nope. The second Rio Palo's name got dragged into the mix, suddenly the PR cavalry came galloping in, waving their torches and screaming, "Absolutely not, move along, nothing to see here." That kind of knee-jerk reaction only makes one thing clear. They're hiding something, and fans are supposed to play dumb while pretending it's not suspicious at all. And here's the dirty little secret. Studios don't waste time on shutting down harmless rumors, unless the rumors are either way too close to the truth or a total disaster waiting to explode. If Rio Palo wasn't connected in any way, why burn calories even addressing it? Do you think HBO ever swooped in to deny random Reddit threads about Game of Thrones spin-offs that don't exist? Of course not, because there's no smoke to put out. Yet here we are watching Paramount act like somebody just uncovered state secrets because fans dared to whisper Rio Paulo. The overreaction practically screams, "Yep, we're definitely cooking something up, but you'll get it when we say so." What makes it even more comical is how badly this attempt at damage control backfired. Instead of quelling speculation, they supercharged it. Now the narrative isn't just, is Rio Palo filming in Texas? It's, why is Paramount so desperate to make sure we don't think it's Rio Paulo? And nothing drives fan theories harder than a good old-fashioned corporate cover-up. It's the Streisand effect in cowboy boots. Try to bury it, and suddenly everybody wants to dig it up. If anything, the studio's shady shutdown just made Sheridan's fan base even hungrier, and you can bet they'll keep poking around until the truth spills out. Sheridan's secretive patterns. If there's one thing Taylor Sheridan loves more than horses and overly long monologues about land rights, it's secrecy. The man operates like Yellowstone is the nuclear codes. Everything's on a need-to-know basis, and guess what? Fans never need to know. From surprise casting announcements to entire spin-offs being greenlit in the shadows, Sheridan's playbook has always been the same. Drop breadcrumbs, vanish into the mist, and then watch the internet rip itself apart trying to connect the dots. It's not just marketing, it's psychological warfare. And fans, willingly or not, are his favorite pawns. Let's be real, this isn't the first rodeo. Remember when 1923 seemingly came out of nowhere with half the cast already locked before the public even heard the title? Or when 4 Sixes was teased, pulled back, teased again, and then left to rot in development limbo like an abandoned cattle ranch? Sheridan thrives on this cloak and dagger approach. He knows every time he withholds a detail, fans start building theories bigger than the Dutton Ranch itself, and the buzz becomes free advertising. He doesn't just hide projects, he weaponizes curiosity. The kicker? This secretive genius act is starting to look more like a con. How many times can you bait fans with silence and shadows before they realize they're being played? Sheridan might think he's the puppet master, but the constant withholding starts to feel less like intrigue and more like manipulation. At some point, the question isn't, what is Sheridan hiding? But why does he always feel the need to hide everything? Maybe it's brilliance, maybe it's ego, or maybe just maybe it's because the Emperor of Yellowstone doesn't always have as much clothing as his PR team wants us to think. If not Rio Palo, then what? If this mystery spin-off isn't Rio Palo, then what the hell is it? That's the million-dollar, scratch that billion-dollar question Paramount would rather fans foam at the mouth over than answer. Because let's be honest, if Sheridan sneezes near a cattle ranch, the network greenlights it. Could it be another Dutton prequel? A dusty side story about some random ranch hand who once shoveled horse manure in 1883? Or maybe a modern-day legal drama where Rip sues the state of Montana for defamation? At this point, anything with dirt, denim, and a six-shooter is on the table. The irony? Paramount's silence is louder than a shotgun blast. If it's not Rio Palo, then maybe they're hiding the fact that it's something way less exciting. Fans want grit, guns, and Dutton blood feuds, not Yellowstone, the college years, or a corporate drama about cattle futures. And that's the danger here. When you set the hype bar sky high with cryptic whispers and mystery projects, the eventual reveal could feel like trading a stallion for a donkey. Sheridan's built a reputation on unpredictability, but there's a thin line between genius curveballs and creative trolling. And let's not kid ourselves, if this isn't Rio Palo, fans are going to riot. Social media will melt faster than snow in a Montana spring, and Sheridan's carefully spun image of the all-knowing ranch whisperer will start to crack. Because withholding info is one thing, but misdirecting fans with endless rumors and whispers? That's playing with fire. And Sheridan might soon find that fans aren't just hungry for answers, they're starving. And nothing tastes worse than disappointment served with a side of corporate silence. The risk of spin-off overload. The risk of spin-off overload is real, and Sheridan is treating the Yellowstone universe like it's an all-you-can-eat buffet where calories don't count. Sure, the first plate was tasty, 1883 was steak and potatoes television. Then 1923 came out piping hot and delivered that fine dining punch. But now, we're 4, 5, 6 plates deep, and suddenly Sheridan's stacking the table with lukewarm leftovers, daring us to keep shoveling it in like we don't notice it's the same recipe reheated. At some point, audiences aren't feasting anymore. They're bloated, and one more spin-off could make them push back from the table in disgust. And let's not gloss over the corporate greed fueling this binge. Paramount is squeezing Sheridan's brain like it's an oil field, fracking every last creative drop out of him, and the cracks are starting to show. Spin-offs are supposed to expand a universe, not water it down into Yellowstone light. served with a ranch dressing plot twist and a side of recycled dialogue. Too many shows too fast don't build loyalty, they breed burnout. And when burnout hits, no amount of cowboy hats and gravelly monologues will save the brand. Fans are loyal, sure, but they're not brain-dead cattle lining up for slaughter. They know when they're being milked dry, and Sheridan's rapid-fire expansion could backfire spectacularly. If every ranch town and saloon in the West suddenly has its own spin-off, what's left to get excited about? Nothing. The whole Yellowstone brand becomes white noise, background chatter, and that's the death sentence of prestige television. If Sheridan keeps this up, the only spin-off fans will want is a spin out of the entire universe. So let's get this straight. We're either watching the most genius rollout in TV history or the slow-motion car crash of a franchise overdosing on its own hype. Spin-offs are supposed to keep fans hungry, not leave us clutching our stomachs like we just ate a bad buffet of recycled plot lines. But hey, maybe that's Sheridan's secret sauce. Keep us so dazed and overstuffed we can't tell the difference between brilliant and bonkers. One thing's certain, if this latest spin-off really isn't Rio Palo, it better be worth the smoke and mirrors, because if it's not, fans won't just be fatigued, they'll be furious. And when Yellowstone fans turn, it's not a stampede, it's a full-on cattle rebellion.